There was another episode that I wrote called Business School. The story was centered upon Pam Beasley, who, as you may recall, was a secretary who aspired to be an artist. And she was taking art classes, and in this episode, she has her first art show with her class. She invites everyone in the office to come to the show, but to her terrible disappointment, almost no one comes. The only person who does come is Oscar, who brings his boyfriend, and Pam overhears the boyfriend make a very disparaging comment about how her art is really motel art, and her heart is broken as she realizes she's really not as good as she thought she was. Now, Michael Scott shows up at the art show. He's feeling terrible about himself, having been humiliated at the business school, but he sees this painting that Pam did of the office, celebrating the place that he works. If this wonderful artist would celebrate where he works, maybe it is of value after all. So he buys the painting, and suddenly she feels validated, at least in a small way, that someone would care about her art that much. Now, Steve Carell, in the introduction to Jenna Fischer's autobiography, talks about only one scene in The Office, and it's this scene, in which he claims that when Jenna comes over to hug him, he sees 5 different emotions play across her face without a word being spoken. It's this moment here. I would hold this up as an example for all of you writers, as the perfect coming together of the true emotional self-expression of the author and actress at the same time. What this episode really was about for me as a writer was that experience of failing as an artist. As I mentioned, I'd spent 2 years writing something, putting all of my heart into it, fully expecting it to be great, and finding out it was a failure. That feeling is unforgettable. It was the same feeling that Jenna had had putting 7 years into going to become an actress and deciding at the end that she hadn't done it. Both of us knew that emotion, and that is what is playing as she acts out this scene. It has been said by wiser artists than me that the more personal you make your writing, the more universal it will become. If you take nothing else from this knowledge drop, please take that.